the Eels, Hoops. Is there any reason to worry? Raiders got them. They probably could have easily won that game, but then the Roosters gave it to them.
Yeah, the wheels are coming off at the wrong time for Parramatta, and I think where they're going to really come under the microscope is we've seen this developing as a bit of a trend over the course of the last 3 to 4 years with Parramatta, where they start the season, shoot themselves out of a cannon, look fantastic, and then when you begin to near the business end of the season, for whatever reason, we should point out they are missing Mitchell Moses, who's obviously their chief number 7 general at the moment. But things start to go pear-shaped. And look, the amount of errors that the Roosters made in the opening 10 to 15 minutes of that game, Parramatta really should have capitalised better than what they did. And, yeah, I think it's a major cause for concern, the way that things have started to wobble a little bit at this stage of the year, because if they get to the finals and they fail to fire a shot again, then there's no question that there's going to be a lot of heat around the Eels.
Yeah.
Look, you can't use Mitchell Moses as an excuse when you look at who was missing from the Roosters lineup. Luke Keary's been missing all season. Corden's retired. Jake Friend's retired. Morris is out retired.
Yeah.
Like the significance of injuries, like Parramatta, he's a key player in their lineup. But they were frighteningly bad, the Eels, and all those concerns about end of season, about whether they come in too hot at the beginning of the year and they can't maintain it for a season. It's coming up again, and they've really got to turn it around. And what was most disappointing, if you're a Parramatta fan, was the manner in which they got beat. It's not like they got beat 12-10 or 20-18. They were donkey licked.
Parramatta have been one of those effort sides that have beaten you up through the middle. You know, you've had Paulo, and Campbell Gillard to get injured early, and whether he is there, Jared Hargreaves. But you've got a guy playing 250 games in Jared that goes out there every week and does his job and intimidates the opposition. And, you know, Junior Paulo said through the week, you know, that they didn't pass the ball around, like they didn't spread the team around. That's not their strength. Their strength is going through the middle, high energy, and then playing off the end of it, having a great kicking game. They've never been one of those sides, you know, that like throwing the ball around. They've beaten you up on effort, Parramatta. Like, they've beaten you up defensively. Their line speed's great. And the last couple of weeks or the last month, you know, you can see that dropping away a little bit.
You raise an interesting point, Gordon, around the commentary in the lead up to the game. Peter Sterling was very vocal and critical of the Eels in the loss to the Raiders, where he said they were one-dimensional coming out of their own end. And then if you noticed against the Roosters, all of a sudden, very early in the piece, they had the ball zinging both directions coming out of their own end. They were looking to offload. They were looking for second phase. So clearly that criticism did hit a raw nerve, and they must have spoken about it, and they came out with a different style of a game plan, but even that didn't work.
They're not those players. They don't have the players, so they're playing something that's not natural to them. If I look at Parramatta, you got Ferguson on one wing, you know, he's the one. You got Sivo on the other wing. They should be having 20 carries each. You got this forward pack that, you know, loves getting down and dirty with the other guys. You know what I mean? I think watching Junior Paulo pass, I would love to play against him when he passes. I'd hate him to bite down on the mouthguard and try to run over me. That's what I wouldn't want him to do. And Parramatta, I think, played into the Roosters' hands. Like an injured Roosters side that have, over 10 players out?
62% of their salary cap was missing.
Yeah, wow.
So that's more than, that works out to be $5.5 million.